Bam, bam, bam. Hey, hello, hello. Happy day, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the special session of the Midwest Music Hour. Joined today in the living room with good buddy Sye, who's, been kicking out the tunes for, I don't know, about 20 years, been playing music or so, better part of his life here, and just something he's really passionate about. Loves singing and playing guitar and sharing songs that he loves, and I think we first met each other growing up in Boy Scouts. That was many, many years ago. But it's been great to see Sye busting onto the Northwood scene here, and been getting out. And he's got a couple shows coming up. Doing a New Year's Eve over at the Cozy Corner, and playing at the Fireside Supper Club in January over at the Tristing Place. Their lounge downstairs there.
Oh, that was last year.
Oh, that was last year. Oh, that was earlier this year.
Yeah.
Okay, not next year.
Right.
Well, maybe they'll have you back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, it's been a great journey so far through music, and stoked to have you here at the living room to chat a little bit about it and share some of your tunes. Do you want to start with a tune and then we'll go from there?
Sure.
Cool.
Last night I dreamed you were back again, larger than life again, holding me tight again, placing those same kisses on my brow, sweeter than ever now. Lord, I remember how I couldn't get enough of kissing. Do you know how much you're missing? No, you don't, but I do. Days like a slow train trickle by, and even the words that I write refuse to fly. All I can hear is your song haunting me. Can't get the melody out of my head. You see your distractions I've been using. Do you know how much you're losing? No, you don't, but I do. But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word for you at all the best that you can do? I never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I swore I'd never fall like this again. Fools like me never win. Come to my knees again. Can't close the door on the likelihood things might be just as good. Always believe they could. Gotta let your love invite me. Baby, do you think it might be? No, you don't, but I do. But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you at all the best that you can do? I never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. Oh, no, you don't, but I do. Girl, no, you don't, but I do. All right.
There it is. It's back. I need to reroute that. Okay, super. Hey, I recognize that tune. That's one that I've heard that Mr. Tuck Pence sing a bunch.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite songs there from Hal Ketchum, and it's actually I got to credit Tuck Pence for my being able to play that. If it wasn't for watching him, I'm not sure I'd ever learned it.
That's yeah, man. We were just chatting at lunch about that a little bit in terms of like, I mean, you can't talk music in the North Woods without talking Tuck Pence, and you kind of grew up real close to Tuck.
Yeah, real good family friend, longtime family friend. Been known him my whole life.
Amazing. And man, what a monster songwriter and storyteller and guitar player, and one of the most genuine guys there is out there.
Oh, very much. Definitely a Northwoods legend.
Yeah. How does that? It's hard not to get inspired by a guy like that. What? You have a favorite? You probably have a favorite. You have a favorite song by him?
Oh, my favorite Tuck Pence song is really hard to. It's really hard to pick. There's so many of them, but I'd have to say if I had to pick a favorite, it'd have to be a song. That's What I Call Home. Just truly a song about my hometown, which is also his hometown. Of a little tiny town about 10 miles south of here, called Bundy.
Yeah.
That not a whole lot of people know exist.
It's it's what they call blink and you miss it type towns, right?
Very much. Towns so small they don't even have a sign.
Oh man. It's so yeah. What else do you do out there except play guitar and
Absolutely. And that song, brings you to Bundy when, at least me, when I hear it. Just a song about hunting and fishing and spending time in the woods. And I don't think anybody could have captured it any better.
Yeah. Hal Ketchum has got a bunch of great tunes, and like that "Miss My Mary" song is another one that he does, and
Yep.
and it's talk about it with I was just talking with Phil Wickham about it the other week, and it's just one of those things where if you didn't know that Hal Ketchum wrote it, you'd think that Tuck wrote it.
Absolutely. And there's so many of those songs that I didn't know where they came from. Hearing Tuck play them, and then becoming an adult and growing up and hearing these songs on the radio and going, man, I didn't know that wasn't a Tuck Pence song.
Yeah, it's that's just it. To be able to take somebody else's song and really embody it and make it your own, it's a great little lesson there that he's been able to give out to many folks, but it's just it's really speaks to his artistry. And yeah, is that something you take on yourself as well? You try to make a song your own and embody it?
Definitely, Scott. When I first started playing, and still to this day, when I first learn a song, I really try to learn it as close to the original as I can, just to get the feel for the song in general. And then from there, you kind of learn where it takes you and where you can take it from there.
Oh, sure.
To be able to truly make it, your own style.
Do you have you kind of gravitate towards one style of music in genre speak, or
as far as my playing goes, I play a lot of classic and outlaw country music. Is kind of where I tend to be with my playing and singing. When it comes to listening, I love to listen to everything. I can find music in every genre that I like, and some in every genre that I don't. And I can't. It's there's just not one specific thing out there for me. That's for sure.
Gotcha. Right on. And oh well, shoot. You've got a lot of cool things going on. Last year, you had a group over at the Hode Country Fest Pickoff competition. Ralphie and Butch and Kevin, right?
Yep.
Came together as your band, and you guys took third place.
Yeah, and that was really it was really something Kevin pushed me to do. It was something they wanted to do as the influence. So they wanted to play and have me stand out in front of them, sing and play an acoustic guitar, and it went really well. For something we just kind of threw together at the last minute to come out and take third place was really an honor, and can't credit those guys enough. They're some of the greatest musicians I've ever played with. They're such a tight threesome of musicians that they're really hard to beat as a backup band for sure.
Oh, it's incredible. Those guys, yeah. We are pretty fortunate here in the Northwoods to have a lot of great musicians, and just because it's not like, they're like our own little gems, our own little.
Very much. It's amazing how many very talented, great musicians there are right here in the Northwoods.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm so glad that went well for you. Are you planning to do that again this year?
I'm not sure. Last time I talked to Kevin, he wanted to do it again, but I haven't talked to him now in quite a while. He spends most of his winter down in South Padre Island, Texas. I know right now he's back here for the holidays, but he's heading right back down there after the first of the year, as far as I know. So I got to get in touch with him and see if that's something we're going to do again or not.
Gotcha. But yeah, speaking of the Country Fest though too, I mean, you just mentioned the last couple of years you were out there in the pavilion jamming with Dave Drevis a couple days, right?
Yeah, that's been a great honor to me to have Dave bring me in to a lot of his shows actually. And when Charlie couldn't make it a couple years ago to play with him in the pavilion, it was a great honor to play with him. And then he brought me in again last year, and I'm hoping we can do it again this year. January, I think it's the 13th, the Friday night. Me and Dave are going to be up at the Cabaret Cove, I think at 6 o'clock. That should be a fun time. And it's been really great playing with Dave. He's a long time face of Rylander in the music scene here. And it's a great honor to play with somebody who's been playing as long as he has.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dave's just great. You were kind of surrounded, like you knew Tuck from a young age. Was that really kind of your first experience, like being drawn to music?
I don't know for sure. As much as I knew Tuck's family and knew who Tuck was, I didn't know him all that well until I really was, until probably closer to 10 or 12 years ago. But I had there's nobody really in my family was real musical, but I had some aunts and uncles, married into the family that were. And I remember my mom telling me when I was a kid, when they'd be around playing at family functions, telling me that one of them had told my mom when I was just young and that boy's got rhythm. And I don't know what ever really drew me to playing the guitar, other than, just begging my parents finally long enough to get one.
Right on. Do you remember what it was?
My first guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sitting in my bedroom right now. It's a Oscar Schmidt by Washburn acoustic guitar. Nothing fancy. Right now it's got about 1.5 inches of neck relief. Because it's just it's just an old guitar leaned up in the corner now for so many years.
Yeah.
And it's one of them things I'll never get rid of. Just to have my first guitar, and like I say, it's not real playable anymore, but it's something I just can't part with.
Man, that's awesome. And how many guitars have you gone through? You mentioned just a little bit ago that you had kind of made your own, put one together.
Yeah, I've done a couple. Man, I think right now I have somewhere between 9 and 12 guitars. Over the years, I couldn't tell you how many I've had and been through. A couple winters ago, I put together a Firebird kit from a kit guitar I bought off Amazon, and that was a fun project. It was kind of my first experience in putting a guitar together, and that was a lot of fun. But then I had issues with the placement of like the bridge and stuff on that one. So I ended up taking the back apart, and now it's actually that neck and the electronics out of it are bolted to actually like a piece of cherry firewood, half a log of cherry, and it's just something fun to play once in a while. And last winter, I actually built my own hollow body, thin body acoustic, and it was a fun experience. It's one of these very similar to the one I'm playing here, but not nearly as nice and not quite so perfect.
Those are pretty sweet guitars. I think they're a little bit more robust, in these harsh winters and going through the changes of the seasons and whatnot.
Yeah, very much act a lot more like an electric than they do an acoustic. And I mean, where I'm drawn to these more. Being a bigger guy, they sit down and play a lot nicer, and that's really what draws me to these thin bodies.
Yeah, that's a ESP.
Yeah, this is an
LTD?
ESP LTD T6, and this thing just absolutely amazes me at the acoustic sound they get out of such a small guitar.
Yeah, wow, and it's got some really hot pickups in there too.
Yeah, and as far as I know, all it's got is a standard under saddle bridge pickup.
Little piezo in there.
And it's a Fishman, but really nothing fancy. Just EQ and a volume knob, and
It's classy though. It's a beautiful top on that.
yeah, the
wood
zebra
grain.
wood really is sharp.
Yeah, wow, very sharp. Dang. And is that a custom guitar strap?
It is. It's actually made by me.
Wicked.
In my spare time, I do all kinds of sorts of projects, and I happened to have a big piece of leather at home, and I cut a piece out of it and did some tool work in it, and nice to have something of your own.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of stuff that's your own, we were talking about songwriting earlier, and you mentioned you've got a handful of things that you've been. Sometimes you'll be working on a song and you maybe will discard it, kind of hit the proverbial brick wall, but you've got one that you've written that you perform and play out and share.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
and this is a song. I like to tell a little bit of a backstory to this when I play it. I was driving truck over the road at the time I wrote this, and I was sitting in a truck stop over in Black River Falls at the Flying J. And my mom had called me that night while I was parked, and a friend of hers had passed away. And it was somebody that I knew but not real well. But after I got off the phone with Mom, I grabbed my guitar. I always kept a guitar in the truck with me. And I don't know exactly where this song came from, but different things that I heard through my past and, different stories that have been told. And this song ended up coming out of it, and I don't really have a name for this song yet, but I like to dedicate this song to my mom for being the inspiration behind it. So,
It's a long and winding road, this journey we call life. And I tend to wonder about what people might say when I'm dead and gone. Most people don't think much about it when they're looking at the stone. But there's only 2 dates there: when you showed up and when you went back home. So make as many memories as you can, 'cause you know they won't be written down. So make as many memories as you can with everyone you love. Let's fill the dash between those dates in everybody's hearts. And it's crazy to look back at the short life that I've lived. Think about the memories that I have with the ones who have passed on. I'm fishing with my grandpa, to the friends I had in school. Just hurry up and do it now, 'cause tomorrow might not come. You know tomorrow never comes. So make as many memories as you can with everyone you love. Let's fill and dash between those dates in everybody's hearts. In everybody's hearts.
Beautiful tune, man.
Oh, thank you. It's one that I oftentimes probably don't play as much as I should. Just sometimes it's hard for me to get through without getting some tears in my eyes.
Understandably so, man. Well, and too, you know, I don't know. Sometimes like bars and taverns and, you know, clubs and stuff are like good places to you know, bring everybody together and have like a heartfelt moment like that, you know. And
Absolutely.
but it can also be sort of like a daunting, hey, let's get all, you know, let's get emotional, you know.
Right.
And who are you? I guess there's, you know, music's gone through a whole lot of different changes in you know, technology and all that sort of stuff. But like people talk today about like, you know, hey, CDs are gone. You know, people got MP3s. That's what we're listening to. Or vinyl's making a comeback. It never really went away. But are you a guy who's got like a CD player in your truck?
No.
No. Okay.
You know that big old rolling turd I got doesn't have much for amenities in it. So I've got a Bluetooth radio in there, so I can play music off my phone. At home, I have a stack of vinyl and no turntable. And, you know, it's one of them weird things. You know, I have a number of CDs and I don't own a CD player. So, you know, I get most of my music electronically. So.
And, you know, because I guess the question would always be like, hey, what CD is in your CD player or whatever, you know?
Right.
So what would be, what's like the last song that was on your playlist?
Oh. You know, it's really an odd thing. I drive around and do things so much without any music playing, yeah. And so it's really hard for me to even remember what the last song that I had playing in my truck was. You know, so many times it's just like an outlaw country playlist on Pandora.
Sure.
You know, I can't get enough of the outlaw country, and especially there's a lot of great new outlaw country guys out there that you really don't catch on the radio. You know, there's quite a few of them guys, like even guys that have been around a while, like Jamie Johnson. But then you got some guys that are fairly new, like Tyler Childers. That like he's an absolutely amazing artist, but you don't catch him on the radio because he just doesn't fit the mainstream style.
Yeah, there's isn't that interesting? What do you hear on the radio? You know, and it's yeah, because you might catch them on an XM playlist or something like that.
Right.
But shoot, yeah, it's I don't, you know, I guess a guy would have to talk to, you know, like a DJ or something like that. But is it really that, you know, here's the popular stuff and this is what we're playing because that's what people want to hear, or is it you know, this is the formula and
right,
know,
and that's,
we get to control the radio. This is our, you know, top
right,
10
you know,
list or whatever. You know?
Something we may never know.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have when you're out there, you get a lot of requests for some of that outlaw country music? You find that resonates with a lot of people?
I do. The biggest request I get is my version of Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, right.
And for whatever reason, that's a song that I've been singing for a lot of years, and that's my most requested song. I get, but you know, I mean, it's a weird thing. It's been so long since I have played a show out that I really don't remember a lot, you know, about what people are requesting and stuff. You know, all summer I kind of, you know, set the guitar aside and do my regular job thing. And, you know, it's great to have the winter time to pick it up and spend all my time on it that I can.
Right on.
So,
And, you know, we mentioned you're going to play New Year's Eve at the Cozy Corner.
yeah.
You got a lot of other gigs kind of lined up right now? Or?
Right now, that's all I've got going.
Okay.
You know, hoping from there to start picking things up. It's, you know, the month of December is always a little hard for me with the holidays and everything.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Technology is strange. I guess I have to pay the internet bill. Yeah, I just remember, you know, like hitting up some of those open jams and whatnot. You know, like Birchwood Lodge used to have one, and
Yeah.
Jailhouse has one, and there was used to be one at the H2H Public House, and there's some stuff that goes on up in Eagle River, St. Germain. We just had an open mic at the Little Brown Jug in Minocqua last night. But you find yourself going to some of those open jam sessions and whatnot still
yeah.
nowadays. And
Oh, for sure. Really, as much as I can. It's just it's always fun to get out and play with people you never played before. Especially that's what's great about those jams. You know, sometimes you're playing with people you've been playing with for years, and other times you'll meet somebody new and you know kick it off. So it's really them open jams are really fun.
yeah. You generally like to. Sorry, you generally like to get into like some tunes that maybe you're just trying out with those folks, or is it one of those where you kind of got your Tennessee whiskey and stuff like that? And you
you know,
feature that more.
It really depends on who's around and who's playing, because you know we got some guys that are just comfortable doing what we do, and that's awesome. It's always fun to do it, and then they got other guys that are always willing to try something new. So, you know, like I said, it always depends on who's there and, you know, who you're playing with.
Bogfoot. You got a Bogfoot shirt on.
I do. They're one of my
Shout
favorite
out to
local
Bogfoot.
bands. You know, they're just, I love the style of music and the energy they put out, man. It's just always a great time.
Yeah, fun group of guys. And, well, shoot. Yeah, we want to get into another song?
Sure.
What you got there?
Let's do this Tyler Childers song here. This is probably my favorite of his. This is called Feathered Indians. Well, my buckle makes impressions on the side of her thigh. There are little feathered Indians where we tussled through the night. If I'd known she was religious, then I wouldn't have came stone to the house of such an angel, too messed up to get back home. Looking over West Virginia, smoking spirits on the roof. She asked, ain't anybody told you that those things are bad for you? I said, many folks have warned me. There's been several people try. Till now, there ain't been nothing that I couldn't leave behind. So hold me close, my dear. Sing your whispering song softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Honey, tell me how your love runs true, and I can always count on you to be there when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river just to hold you tonight.
Well, my heart is sweating bullets from the circles it has raced, like a little feathered hen calling out the clouds for rain. Running through the thickets, I go careless through the thorn, just to hold you for a minute. Lord, leave me wanting more. So hold me close, my dear. Sing your whispering songs softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Oh, tell me how your love runs true, and I can always count on you. Be here when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river to hold you tonight.
Nice.
Right.
Tyler Childers.
Tyler Childers.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
He's got so many great tunes. I remember when my buddy Bob Wygant was like, dude, Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
This guy's got some tunes. I was like, what is this coming out of Kentucky?
Right. You know, it's stuff that a lot of that kind of music out there that you don't know is there if you don't go looking for it.
What about yeah, I mean, like, what about Tyler Childers' music drew you to him, or in general?
I honestly discovered Tyler Childers just he popped up on my outlaw country station on Pandora, and I just liked the sound. You know, he's got such a great outlaw country bluegrassy, sound that you just don't seem to hear so much anymore. And I think that's really what drew me to him. You know, it reminds me of the music I grew up listening to.
Yeah, it's speaking of like the technology element and all that, are you more of a listen to like a band like that where there's not a lot of like synthesizers going on or electronic like programmed stuff, or do you not have a limit in terms of like the stuff that you listen to?
You know, there's no limit per se. You know, there's a lot of songs that I like that have a lot of that stuff in it, but there's nothing that really compares to me to somebody that can just, especially a singer-songwriter, that can just grab a guitar and sit down on their own and play one of their songs. So, I mean, even if they use a lot of the synthesizer stuff in their recordings, just to me, it's more about who the artist is, and what brought them to music and the way that they do it.
Right on. Yeah, and the story of a song or the story in the song, right?
Right.
Cool. What do you? I guess some people are out there wondering. They're always like, well, what are you doing playing music? Or, oh, you want to be like some big whatever? Or, I guess, when we're looking at some goals and stuff like that, you just playing for yourself, for your enjoyment, to have fun, bring that to other people. Will you be putting out an album at any point in the future? Will you be getting a Sye Haack Facebook music page or something?
Yeah.
I guess you have any plans to kind of like? Well, I know you kind of do like part-time playing more in the winter because of the job stuff during the summertime or whatever. But do you ever plan to kind of like amp it up on another level like that, or kind of just happy, kind of taking it as it goes and what
Yeah, maybe someday, but as for right now, I kind of like the way things are going. I never want music to become a job. As much as I'd love to be able to make it a career, I never want it to be a job. Because there's a lot of days I wake up and do not want to go to work, because there's a lot of days that I don't like my job. But there's never been a day in my life that I didn't want to play my guitar, and I hope to keep it that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because it can definitely, when it becomes a job, that's could be a problem. Cool.
Yeah, you know, the music is great and the playing's always great, but the hauling gear of playing shows really gets to a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what they pay you for, you know.
Right.
Hauling and setting up the PA.
You know, Gary Breyer gave me some of the best advice I ever got years ago to playing out, and that was, remember, Sye said they pay you to haul gear, not to play music. You play because you like to.
Yeah. Gary Breyer. Oh, man. Yeah, I played in a band with him a number of years ago.
Yeah, Gary's a great guy.
Gary's pretty awesome.
Yeah, love to listen to him play too.
Yeah. Is that, and what a cool spot here in the Northwoods, where you can grab a campfire on a nice summer night or something and, be out on the lake and playing music and just hanging out.
Absolutely, and especially you get out, like say on the lake here. I mean, people get out on their boats. You never know who's going to stop by.
Yeah, yeah. Is there? Hey, do you want to do that version of Tennessee Whiskey?
Ooh, I can try.
Okay. Or
It's my voice has been a little rough lately, so I'm not sure if I can pull her off. But
all right,
we'll definitely give her a shot. So. You spend my nights out in a ballroom, liquor was the only love I've known. She rescued me from reaching for the bottom, brought me back from being too far gone. 'Cause you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places, found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. When you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it, 'cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. 'Cause you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Oh, you're sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. 'Cause you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. As Tennessee whiskey. As Tennessee whiskey. Well, we made her.
you made her. We made her. We got to the other side.
We got a little rough there in the middle. Apologize for that.
Well, he's Stapleton's got, man, just like it feels like he's got like the golden voice,
He
everything
really does.
Touches just turns to a hit song.
Right.
but it's extremely hard to do.
So, people tell me they like that way I do that one. Just it's kind of that right in between where George Jones and Chris Stapleton are on it, and it's been an honor even just locally to be put in a class of musicians with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, and that's kind of a goofy thing about songs too. Sometimes, like when they're reinvented by somebody else like that, and it's it gets back to that whole Tuck Pence, thing we were talking about at the beginning. Embodying a song and making it your own, and in the same way that like Chris reinvented that, taking a little bit of I don't know, turning up the soul, if you will.
Right.
And he got to the point where right, people might not have known that was anybody else had recorded it and
Right.
released it or whatever.
Very, very much like the song Wagon Wheel with Darius Rucker.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So many people, and I still meet people that don't know that was first an Old Crow Medicine Show song. And, it sometimes amazes me that people don't know that, but if you never knew, how would you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also just cool to see everybody's versions
Very
change,
much.
And I wonder sometimes like where they, what inspired them to change it, was it just like people in the studio, with the recording process, or
Well, and you wonder if it's that, or if this guy could have been covering that song for 20 years, and that's the way he's been playing it.
sure,
Yeah,
just really cool in general. We were talking about like the Hode Country Fest going on around here. We just chatted a little bit. Project North is coming up next year in September here in Rhinelander, and you were sort of like one of those other people in town that were like, "What is going on?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
can't
very
I
much.
drive on the street?"
I had no idea that Project North was going on until it happened.
So maybe 2023 will you might have a little inkling about it before it happens.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd love to do something with that too. Always willing to get out and play when I can. So.
Right on. Yeah, they've got the Mae Simpson show at Nicolay College coming up, and there's going to be a volunteer kind of gathering before that, I think 4:00 or something at
Okay.
Nicolay College. And but speaking of that too, it's like Art Start has just kind of started this thing called Music Lab, and I think it's John Santee and some of the folks on the music committee. They're putting that up. It's actually Tuesdays, 4:00. I'm not sure if they're meeting this week with the holiday and everything, but they just started that the other week. Opportunity for people to, get together and share their songs, or just kind of chat about the music scene, or maybe a guy's wondering what PA to buy, and so then you got other couple of guys who have owned PAs before and can make some recommendations.
Right.
That type of thing. Meeting of the minds, if you will.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, and I'll get you some more water if you want. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff going on, outside of just like the jam sessions that happen at, this bar, that bar.
Right.
It's really, really cool to have that sense of community, growing within the music scene up here and whatnot. So. I definitely would encourage you to check that out if you're ever around on a Tuesday afternoon in Rhinelander at the Art Start building.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out because that sounds like a really cool deal.
Yeah, and just another opportunity to share with people really, and get to know each other, and like I said, because that could be it. Maybe somebody's sitting on a version of some Hal Ketchum tune or something, and
Right.
but just sharing in that music and that community growth with each other is really kind of important. So, oh yeah, have you ever been up there to Eagle River at the warehouse?
No.
Oh, okay. So they got another one going on up there. Fridays is kind of their music day, from what I understand, and and they'll trade hosting responsibilities. So like it'll be a rotating host
Oh,
every
really?
month for their open mic night.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and they've got just a great crowd of people that go out and support, and great crowd of musicians, and it could be poets and comedians and stuff like that too.
Right.
People just want to share. But yeah, they've really developed something cool up there that happens on Fridays. I'm not sure. Is it like? I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, there are just so many cool opportunities here to connect with people around music and everything, and that's just another great one that if you haven't been to, that'd be a good one to check out.
Definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, do you play? Have you played gigs in Eagle River?
None of my own. No. I've unfortunately had to turn down a couple last minute gigs in Eagle River at Mud Creek a couple times. Just couldn't make things happen, on short notice.
Sure.
But I have, played up there in a couple open mics there at the Mud Creek, and been over to Legends in St. Germain's a few times for their open mic on Sundays.
Nice.
But haven't been in quite a while, so I got to get that direction again one of these days.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just saw Mike. Mike was out at the Jug last night sharing a couple tunes, and he's usually over at Legends on Sundays with the crew. And I was there. I was there years ago. But so it's probably, I think it's like the first Friday of every month over at the warehouse there.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, a lot of cool things going on. So, well, shoot, man, it's been great having you over to the living room today to hang out and chat. And
Well, thank you.
Thanks for sharing your songs and stuff. And do you have another one maybe you want to go out on, or
Sure.
is it? How's your voice holding up there?
Oh, I'm good yet. I just gotta, as long as I stay in the lower half of the range, I'm good.
Okay.
But another one of my favorite songs. It's kind of a sad song and sappy tune, but it's a song that I feel, you can always feel the people come together every time I play it when I'm out in a bar. And it just has a great message. A farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher, were riding on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education, and two of them were searching for lost souls. That driver never ever saw the stop sign, and 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. Well, that farmer left to harvest a home and 80 acres, faith and love for growing things in his young son's heart. And that teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children, did her best to give them all a better start. And the preacher whispered, can't you see the promised land? As he lay his blood-stained Bible in that hooker's hands. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. Well,
That's a story that our preacher told last Sunday as he held that blood-stained Bible up for all of us to see. Said, bless the farmer and the teacher and that preacher who gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, now I guess we know. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Randy Travis tune there.
Yeah, that's got to be one of them that, yeah, it's such an emotional story.
You know, it's one of the great storytelling songs in country music right there. It seems like some of the best storytelling songwriters did such a good job of writing and singing their songs. You could really picture it right in your head while you're hearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
So.
What a gift. Wow. Cool, man. Yeah, Patty says that she's really been amazed to see your blossoming. She didn't use that word, but I'm going to use that word, blossoming, right? Just your growth, as you progressed here, and I would concur for sure. It's been. I'm sure it's something that maybe gets a little bit easier the more you do it. But anybody who hasn't played out in public before, just got to push yourself to that first time getting out, and maybe an open mic or a jam session is the place to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I played at open jams, mainly out of Birchwood and Nicky and the Nimrods back in the day, from pretty much when I was a real young adult until they stopped doing them. And that was really my first, other than a high school talent show, playing in front of people. And even I did that for a lot of years before I really ventured out and actually did any of my own shows. But it's in the last couple of years of doing this, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you out there doing it. And like I said, thanks so much for coming by today and
thanks for
sharing
having
some
me.
songs. It's really great to chat with you. Great to see you again.
Yeah, it was really great. I can't thank you enough for having me on.
You got it, Sye. Appreciate that, man. Have a Merry Christmas. And, Lerv's Cozy Corner, you'll be doing tunes on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it'll be 8 to 11 there.
Very cool.
And like I said, if you can't catch that, I'll be with Dave Drevis. I believe it's January 13th at the Cabaret Cove.
Nice. Yeah, and we'll put another little bug in your ear, and you'll have to put a calendar up on your newly anointed Facebook music page.
Right. I get as much as I can out there and making events and stuff. So.
Right on. Yeah, that way we'll just have a little bit easier time following you, knowing where you're going to be at. So, thanks again, Sye, and
thank you.
Hey, thank you for tuning in today to the Midwest Music Hour special session live from the living room. And be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And yeah, ooh, bam, we're gonna go into studio mode.